And it's not crazy. It'll give you energy back. If I go like this, it'll take energy away.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our masterclass on energy medicine. I've got two extremely special guests with me today. But first, I want to tell you why this class is so important. So there's been an increase in awareness and desire to learn the art of energy medicine from our Mind Valley community. We're living in a world right now where there's so much anxiety, stress, distractions that distract us from what we are really meant to be doing in the world. And at the same time, human lifespans are increasing. People are going into their 70s and 80s, still committed to their work, to their craft. How can we live in vibrant health? How can we keep our bodies young and functioning properly? And we all know modern medicine is great and it's advancing rapidly. But the world is also opening up to the idea of energy medicine, that we are more than just physical beings, that there's this energy moving through us. And certain people who have learned to fine-tune and work with this energy are able to create health, vitality beyond the normal. And so we really wanted to bring the world's foremost energy healer to Mind Valley. And so we'd spent almost 3 years working with healers all across the world through our apps and our online classes. But there was one particular woman and her partner who always eluded us because she was so massive in terms of her reach. And finally, I got a chance to connect with her. So what happened was this. I was teaching a class in San Diego, and Donna Eden and David, her partner, came to meet me after the seminar was over, and we met in a little office suite in the hotel where the seminar was happening. So Donna and David met me and my team, and they showed us what they were doing. They showed us the work that they did. I was blown away by how they had built energy medicine schools all around the US, where every single week thousands of people are learning to heal themselves and others using energy medicine. And as I met with Donna and David, what was meant to be a 1-hour meeting turned into 3 hours as they showed me and my team how simple ways they could work with our energy could cause us to gain strength and confidence and positive energy, or they could take it away. It was mind-blowing. Anyway, the meeting went really well, and I went to sleep that night. I had a beautiful sleep, and I woke up at 7 a.m. in the morning the next day, right? And I was gonna go on a hike. We were near Torrey Pines in San Diego, a beautiful hiking place. But I remembered I'd left my hiking shoes in our office in the hotel. So I went back to this office, and as I opened the door and walked in, even though I was sleepy, it was 7 a.m., I hadn't had my morning cup of coffee, I suddenly feel really weird. When I stepped into that office, I felt electrified. I felt like there was this beautiful energy all around me, that I had somehow entered this alternate reality. I can't describe it in any other way. And I was wondering, wow, this hotel really does something cool with their suites. I wonder what they spray in here. And then it occurred to me, this was the room where I had been meeting and talking and working with Donna and David just the night before. And that is how powerful Donna is. And so that's when I became a fan. And I knew that I wanted to collaborate with Donna and David and create the world's foremost energy medicine program and bring it to the Mind Valley Academy. And this masterclass with Donna and David is designed to directly give you an idea of how to apply energy medicine in your life. You're going to learn 4 techniques that you can apply instantly, and you're going to learn from 2 of the greatest teachers in this field. So without further ado, please welcome Donna and David.
Thank you.
Did you guys know that story about me trying to collect my sneakers and what I felt?
I had no idea,
Well,
but I know that happens. That's exactly.
So Donna, David, firstly, welcome to this masterclass. And for those of you watching, I want to share a little bit about you with Donna and David so they can serve you best. So 40% of our Mind Valley community in a survey said that they believe energy medicine is only applicable in your life if you're a gifted healer. Now, we know that's not true.
That's right. It is not true. I mean, that's what I want everybody on the planet to know about, is that everyone has the ability to heal themselves, and it's in us all, these amazing energy systems that you can connect with and shift and shift yourself out of a bad mood, or shift yourself out of, I don't know, a cold or the flu. You can move that energy.
And yes, you are gifted if you have it, but anybody can learn the skills.
Everybody. I think kindergarten children going to school for the first time, this ought to be a part of schools so that kids can feel empowered.
Just like they learn to brush their teeth,
Yeah.
they can learn how
We
to...
can learn this.
Yes.
Yes.
So what's interesting is our audience is very receptive to this. So again, in a survey, we asked you guys, what is your confidence in modern Western medicine as a way to really make you live healthy and a life of vitality? And the answer was 4.3 out of 10, which is low. But when we ask you guys, to what extent do you believe energy medicine can help you get there? You guys gave it an 8 out of 10. When we asked them, how interested are you in learning energy medicine? You guys gave it a 9 out of 10. But here's the thing. When we asked you, okay, so you're interested in learning it, why aren't you doing it? And the biggest reasons people said they were not applying energy medicine were they felt they needed an expert to teach them. Or they didn't know how to start, or they think it's too expensive to learn.
Oh, well, first of all, you're going to find that this is simple. This is really user-friendly. I mean, children can learn this so easily. And some people even just getting into energy medicine begin to figure out their own maze, because you get on that wavelength of understanding, energy is all there is. But I am thrilled for people to learn this, because it empowers you for the rest of your life. And I really did used to think that this was a sort of an elective subject to learn, but I now think and believe from the bottom of my heart that this is imperative to learn, because so many things can throw your energy off all the time, and you can get your energy back fast.
And why I'm excited to bring this to our audience is that Mind Valley Academy's role as an entity, as a company, is to fill the gaps in our modern education. And I've always believed, through my encounters with energy medicine over the last 2 decades, that this is one of the foremost things we should be learning in school. So stay tuned, because you're going to actually learn some powerful techniques today from these 2 amazing people. But first, let me introduce you now. I know you guys are really humble, so allow me to just state a couple of interesting things about David Feinstein and Donna Eden. So first, David, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, get ready to blush. So David's a licensed clinical psychologist who has contributed to more than 100 articles in professional literature. He has held 9 national awards for his books on consciousness and healing. This man is no joke. He has served on the faculty of Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, Antioch College, and the California School of Professional Psychology. And what I love about that, David, is it shows how what you teach with energy medicine is becoming more acceptable even in academic institutions. In 2002, David received an Outstanding Contribution Award from the Association for Comprehensive Energy Psychology, received the U.S. Book News Award for Best Psychology Mental Health Book of 2007. 2015, received the Outstanding Leadership Award from the Canadian Association for Integrative and Energy Therapies. And I could go on and on and on and on and on. And you know, you are Donna's partner, which I think says the most about you.
I'm best credential.
Now let's talk about Donna. Donna is among the world's most sought after, most joyous, and most authoritative spokespersons for energy medicine. For nearly 4 decades, she has been teaching people how to work with the body's energy system to reclaim health and vitality. Donna has trained more than 100,000 people. But the most fascinating thing about Donna, which is what I learned, is that from the time she was young, she could see the body's energy. And not just one system. There are gifted people out there who can see your auras or your chakras. Donna could see to such a level of detail that she observed 9 different energy systems in the human body. 9 different systems, not just meridians, not just chakras, but 9 different systems. And what Donna brings to the world, and this is what I love about you, Donna, is this level of compassion and love in terms of how she teaches. She just makes you happy when you're learning from her. So we're really excited to be having this class with you. Now together, you guys have built the world's largest and most vibrant organization teaching energy medicine. Your latest book, The Energies of Love, is a New York Times bestseller. And the reason you are such great teachers is because you collaborate from a Western approach, a Western clinical approach, and an Eastern energetic approach. And so you are merging 2 different dimensions of healing. And thousands of clients, hundreds of classes every month are conducted by your certified professionals and practitioners.
Yes.
So now, Donna, what I'd love for you to tell us about is your story, because you've got an incredible story about a really powerful healing that happened in your life, and it's so inspiring. Please talk about that.
Yes. Well, I started out in my life with illnesses. I had tuberculosis as a little girl, so my lungs were very weak. And then I found with my immune system so weak, I was allergic to everything under the sun. And then by the time I was 16, I had multiple sclerosis. And I just got worse and worse. And
MS at 15.
Yes.
Now, for those of us who don't know what multiple sclerosis is, tell them, I know what it is, but describe what it does to people.
Well, it's an autoimmune illness, and for me, my legs kept getting weaker and weaker, especially from my knees to my thighs. It was like they wouldn't work much of my life. And as I was entering into my late 20s, it was getting harder and harder to walk, so I would go through long periods of not walking at all. My arms, my whole body went into, if you've ever had the experience of something on your body falling asleep, my entire body did that.
Wow.
So in my about 30 years old, I had a hard time sometimes talking because it was that numbness that would come over my face. And my organs were breaking down. I had a heart attack at 27. And then I went, because I was getting worse, I went to 5 different specialists who all said there was absolutely nothing that they could do for me, that basically I was going to die, and that that 5th time, I don't know what happened, but it felt like lightning hit me. And I thought, no, I'm not. I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to get myself well. And I went home, and the first thing I did was just lay my hands on my knees and on my hip bone. And I noticed that it took 3 minutes, only 3 minutes, and that energy began to connect. And it was amazing. And so I began to just explore all over my body. What could I do to make the energy move? And that was how it all began. What was so interesting is I didn't expect, I was hoping I would get over MS or get kind of well. But what happened was I lost all my allergies. And I lost my asthma, and everything started building up while I was working on other things.
Your organs started healing, and you gained the ability to reuse your legs and your body and to move again.
Yes, all of that.
How long did that take?
Well, let's see. It was several months in all, and I just kept getting better and better. And as I went before I was completely well, I did start working on people because I was just impassioned to share it with everybody and to tell people who had MS or any autoimmune illness, you can turn this around. You know, I wanted everybody. And then other people began to come to me for cancer, for, you know, just the flu, whatever they had, because I'd figured something out. And when you figure something out on your own body, boy, you've got something to share with everybody. And what I have found is that I found that there is nothing that this won't touch and usually heal. Sometimes when somebody is very, very, very sick, you know, you get it will mean you've got to work with them around the clock to teach their bodies to turn that energy around. But for the most part, people get well.
That's incredible. And David, how did you come into Donna's life?
Well, I actually came into Donna's life right after she had overcome her MS and before she had really started her professional work. So I watched the whole thing develop, and it's been quite amazing. And I was her biggest skeptic at first.
Right, because you're a man of science.
Right, and it took, you know, really the first thing that happened that was persuasive to me was we lived in a small town, and so I knew a lot of people that were being helped by her, and they were really being helped. It wasn't, and when I was at Johns Hopkins, I'd done a study of the new therapies, and I knew how much charisma and enthusiasm really, those are good things. The placebo effect really helps people. And so I thought, okay, that's what's going on. She's so enthusiastic about it, and she's really, you know, compassionate, and she's getting people help. I didn't understand this energy part because I thought of energy as the ability to do work, electrical energy, mechanical energy, kinetic energy, but energy that has intelligence, energy that has memory, energy that is a whole different thing that she was talking about. So I kind of just watched and watched and watched. And it wasn't really until she asked me if I could help her write her book that I started to interview her. And as I interviewed you, I just thought, oh my God. The questions I learned to ask people when I was doing the study at Hopkins on alternative therapies, she could answer these really hard questions with comprehensive, I just never got it, how systematic her thinking was when someone was on her table. She could see, okay, this energy is not moving. This is really stuck. Now maybe what I can do is I can move my hand over the field. Did that fix it? No, that didn't fix it. So let's see. Okay, now that energy pathway is connected to this energy pool. So maybe if I work with the pool, that will fix it. No, that didn't fix it. Okay, well maybe it's something upstream from the block, and I'll work with that. Oh, okay, now that got it flowing. So it was very systematic how she figured these things out. It was empirical, based on observation, her ability to see energy combined with
Donna
experimenting.
can see these 9 different layers that most people cannot see.
She could see that. And what was really interesting about that was that she didn't know that these 9 systems were named already in other cultures. She didn't know that these pathways that she saw were called meridians in ancient Chinese medicine, and that these circles were called chakras. She didn't know that. She just saw it, and then she recognized it later. So it really gave a kind of validation in my mind that what she was seeing was also recognized in many, many other cultures.
Before we go on, here are some things that people have said about Donna's work. Now, listen to this, because these people are not just legends in America. These are people you read about, you see on television, but they are from such a diverse field, not just healers, but journalists, doctors, and so much more. Caroline Mice, the PhD world-renowned intuitive and respected lecturer in the field of health and intuition and contemporary spirituality, said, Donna's contributions to energy medicine will stand as one of the backbone studies for the field of holistic medicine. Christine Northrup, MD, New York Times best-selling author of Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom, said, Donna is one of the most joyous and effective pioneers in the rapidly expanding and vitally important frontier called energy medicine. Gloria Steinem, I'm sure you've heard of her, the activist, journalist, spokesperson for the feminist movement, said, even the most hard-nosed doctor will admit that some people have a healing presence that makes us and our immune systems better than before. Donna is one of those rare healers. Stanley Krippner, PhD, author of Realms of Healing, said, she's one of the few practitioners whom I would call a master healer. The legendary Jean Houston, PhD, author of The Possible Human, said, Donna Eden's body energy work is perhaps the most brilliant, comprehensive, and effective system in the genre that I have ever seen. Eric Leskowitz, MD of Harvard Medical School, said, one of the most enjoyable accounts of energy medicine. It is impossible to come away unchanged from reading her work. And Dr. Richard Gerber, author of Vibrational Medicine, said, Donna Eden's unique observations of energy patterns have led to a fabulous practical guide to managing the body's subtle energies. The famous Dr. Bernie Siegel said, read, learn, and explore your innate healing abilities with Donna Eden. So, as you can tell, these are people who come across all realms of American society, from healers to journalists to doctors, raving about Donna. And that's one of the reasons I'm so excited and thrilled to have Donna join our faculty here at Mind Valley Academy. So, David, Donna, I'm mystified by this. What is this energy system? There's a collective system that you are seeing that goes beyond chakras, goes beyond meridians. That's just 2 of the 9 levels that you're seeing. As a psychologist, as a healer, how would you explain this?
I mean, energy really is magic. It's the life force. I think of energy as maybe the body's very best medicine. It's organic, it's natural, and we evolved alongside this energy. So we've always had it, and its job was to heal us. Our energies know how to heal us already. We just have gotten so far away from learning about our energies that we forgot. And all I think I'm doing is helping people remember and learn the things that our bodies already knew. I think it's in our DNA. And once people get into it for a while, they start getting triggered and understanding things, and your senses begin to open, and many people begin to see energy. So it's wonderful.
Do many of your students end up being able to see energy as well?
Oh yes, and many begin to be able to hear it or feel it more or know it in ways that they don't understand why they know it. But other things open up for you when you begin to work in energy, because you're learning the language that the body speaks in, which is energy. And
so if the energy is already there, and what our students are doing by working with the energies is their senses start to open up to recognize it. And the most common is feeling it. They'll feel the energy. Seeing it is less common, but they'll feel the energy. And so that's really amazing to watch, because that gives them, it's not theoretical anymore. It's, you know, like for me, it's always been kind of theoretical, but it becomes very palpable. Another way to talk about what energy medicine is, to maybe help people to understand it in relationship to conventional medicine. What conventional medicine does is to really work with the biochemistry of the cells and the tissues and the organs. What energy medicine does is it works with the energy fields that control the growth and repair of the cells and the tissues and the organs. So if you're able to shift energy fields that are impaired for whatever reason, then you're able to much more quickly and non-invasively really shift what's happening at that body level of the cells, the tissues, and the organs.
And not just for your body, but from talking to you guys, I know it also shifts your attitude, it shifts your mindset.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely, in fact, one of the real gifts for me, because I kind of gave up my career to, so we both had very active practices in Ashland, Oregon, and mine is a clinical psychologist and Donna's an energy healer. And when our book came out and she went on the road, I just saw this is the bigger calling. And so I just gave my career up with the idea that I'd carry the bags and crack the jokes. Those were my self-defined roles, and maybe define things a little bit more left brain. But the gift for me is that working with the energies, particularly the meridians and particularly acupuncture points, you can send signals to the brain, to the amygdala, that decrease arousal, that decrease the stress response so quickly that it's become an essential tool for me in my clinical psychology work, totally aside from...
So you're applying this now in psychology?
Yes.
So my question to you, David, is is this changing modern medicine and modern science in any way? What are you seeing occurring in the nation's hospitals and research institutes in terms of energy medicine?
Well, they have been very slow in some ways to really let this influence the paradigm. But what's happening is the public is demanding it. And so you have more and more hospitals where they have someone that's doing some kind of energy healing available. And often they can't code it. They can't give it a diagnostic or treatment code because it hasn't progressed that much. So they'll say, okay, this is to help people relax. This is to help people feel better. So it's kind of creeping into many different hospitals. It's not so much from the administration down as much as from the public up.
Bottom up. But I know that even in business and in society, it's gaining more widespread acceptance. I know
Yes.
Mutual of Omaha, for example, is one of the first insurance companies to lower one's insurance premiums if you practice mindfulness. I know in France, I read that acupuncture is now a legit medical treatment.
Right. I think the insurance companies are actually going to be the allies for this, much more than the hospitals and the established treating organizations, because they want what works, what's going to lower premiums, what's going to increase their profit. And if you have a technique that makes Western medicine more effective, which is how I view much of this, it's that once a person needs Western medicine or needs hospitalization, what can you do to really improve their chances of healing faster, their chances of the surgery working better? If before every surgery, all 9 systems were balanced, were brought into balance, and then after surgery, all 9 systems are brought into balance, there's a number of changes that would happen, one of which is that there would be a much higher rate of success in the surgeries, much fewer side effects. Sometimes just those balancing will prevent the need for the surgery. So you really have a whole different, you have two paradigms coming together that can work together beautifully.
Amazing, amazing.
And more we have nurses and doctors taking our classes, which I'm humbled by, that a physician who already has his own world is willing to take this on, because they understand if you are working on people's bodies, you start realizing there's something else going on here. There's energy. I mean, we are energy.
Right. Doctors are now more aware of the placebo effect
Yes.
and the impact that the mind has on the
Yes.
body. And it's mysterious, but we know it works. We don't know why it works, but we know it works. So for those of you watching, what I want you to do is if you open up your PDF workbook, which you get with this masterclass, or if you don't have one, just take down these questions. I'm going to ask you 9 simple questions, okay? And I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how true this is for you. Now, this simple self-assessment is important because it'll help you see the shifts that you might experience after this class and the shifts that might be possible in your life when you apply energy medicine. So the first is, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate yourself for this. I wake up joyful and full of energy every day. This should be your normal. Is it true on a scale of 1 to 10? Number 2, I do not let other people's moods or problems get me down. So again, if other people's moods and problems get you down, you're going to get below 5. If you're more immune to that, then you'd get above a 5. Rate yourself from 1 to 10. Third, I have mental clarity and can focus when required. Do you have that, or do you feel you have brain fog? The more mental clarity you have, the higher the number. Rate yourself from 1 to 10. Number 4, I'm able to manage my daily stressors to maintain a daily peaceful state. This means stress doesn't bug you, it doesn't shake you. Rate yourself from 1 to 10. Now again, I'm going quickly in the interest of time, but the first number that comes to you is usually the most accurate one. You don't have to overanalyze this. Number 5, even when emotionally disturbed, I'm able to stay peaceful rather than reactive. When someone cuts you off in traffic or someone says a rude thing to you, you are still zen. Scale of 1 to 10. 6, chronic body pains, muscle aches, and headaches are not a major problem for me. If you have absolutely no back pain or chronic headaches or muscle pains and you don't remember the last time you have a headache, you're probably at a 10. If you have certain pains in your body, you might be lower. Number 7, I can help myself using energy techniques or practices. 1 to 10. So if you're not applying any type of energy practice in your life, not even meditation, then you'd probably get a 1. If you're applying a little bit of energy practice in your life, maybe you'd get a 3 or 4. 8, when I invest my time and energy into my projects, it's worth it and I get satisfying results. This means that when you apply yourself to something, it feels like the universe has your back. It just flows. But if you find that your daily practice in work and life is a struggle, you'd get a lower number. Rate yourself from 1 to 10. And now the final question, which is just an overall assessment. Overall, I am happy with my levels of health and vibrancy. Rate yourself from 1 to 10. Great, so that becomes your benchmark score, and that also gives you an idea of perhaps what you want to focus on when you start bringing energy medicine into your life. So these questions were prepared by Donna, and this is sort of an assessment that shows you what happens when you bring energy medicine. When you start bringing energy medicine to your life, you start scoring at an 8, a 9, a 10 for all of these, and you can see the impact this can have on your life and your functioning as a human being. So now, Donna, David, let's get to the juicy part. What are you going to be teaching us today?
I would like to demonstrate energy so that everybody sees it. Okay? Can I get you to stand up?
Sure, let's
Okay,
do that.
Let's do it. First, you're going to face me, and I'm going to energy test you to see if you've got all the energy we want you to have. So you push up while I push down.
Okay.
Okay, you're very strong. So I am just going to trace a meridian, and I'm tracing it backwards, and it takes your energy.
What did you do?
It takes your energy away, and it will do this for every human being on the
Wait,
planet.
no, try that again.
Okay. He's trying. I was just using 2 fingers too, so you know
Okay.
I'm not overpowering you. Okay.
But that's crazy.
But if I trace it like this, and it's not crazy, it'll give you energy back. If I go like this, it'll take energy away. If I go like that, it'll bring energy back. And it's a wonderful thing.
But I'm
for
applying
people.
the same amount of,
Yes.
of lift on my
Yes,
hand.
because it isn't about a muscle test. It's about testing the energy, whether it's flowing or
So
not.
you can see the energy on my body,
Yes.
and you're able to tweak things
Yes.
to either empower me or disempower
That's
me.
right. That's exactly right.
That is scary.
And it's something that everybody can learn. I mean,
Wow.
it is so empowering for people to know this, because there are times you want to take some of your energy away. Like if you can't sleep and you want to just, take
Right.
the energy down. And of course, there are times you want to bring energy back.
Wow, so that was a beautiful demonstration.
All right.
Now, what is a technique that you can teach our audience that they can apply in their life right now?
Okay, well, like maybe in an afternoon slump, if you start feeling tired, if you just take your right hand and put it over your left shoulder and push into your left shoulder and then drag it across to your opposite hip. And then the other side. And just push it and cross the energy. And you do that a few times. And what happens is you get the energies crossing over as energy is meant to do. It's meant to cross over and figure 8 patterns all over the place. And you'll start getting your energy back. I'm going to give you one more because everybody seems to go through this. I'm going to energy test you in a new way. You hold your arm real strong. I'm just going to touch the end of your nose. And all that means is that the energy going up the front of your body is not connecting to the energy going up the back at the back of your throat. And many, many people in Western culture, for sure, stay up in their head so the energy doesn't keep going. And so here's what I'm going to have you do, and everybody else. Put your one finger in your belly button.
Okay.
Push it in and pull it up. Put the other one right here at your third eye. And you'll find you might even want to breathe. Take at least 2 deep breaths, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just watching you, I'm going to do one more, 3. Okay? You're healed. I'm going to smash your nose and hold. And so it gives your energy back. And when that happens, it makes an orbit around your body that will go either way your body needs. And it protects you. It helps you stay vital when, if you're starting to feel low.
So there's something. So what you're saying is when we're having our afternoon slump, doing this
Yes.
is somehow doing something to our energy system. And you
Yes.
can see this. You can
Yes.
see the shifts happening
Yes.
in our body. And then the other technique is to put a hand on our belly button, push upwards, and put a
Yes.
hand over here where our
Yes.
third eye is, and push upwards.
That's right.
What's going on there? How is this shifting our energy?
Oh, well, first of all, the energies in your hand are electromagnetic. So if you use your own hands on your own body,
I
it will
see.
move the energy. And energy connects up. It connects up. And in that instance, it connects at the back of your throat. And it makes a loop. A microcosmic.
So these 2 simple practices help us come out of an afternoon slump.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
because there's 2 things that happen. One is that in just normal wear and tear during a day, is that energies that are meant to cross over from one side of the body to the other start to not cross over. They start to go up and down. Like the right side of your brain controls the left side of your body. There's an energy that needs to support that, and it stops supporting it. So simply crossing over here gets those energies back into a crossover pattern. And then the second system, this microcosmic orbit that goes around, is something that also breaks down as you get tired. And so simply doing this gets it's like recharging.
And this is something that
recharging the
Donna
battery.
sees in people. You can
Yes.
see this, and so
Yes.
that's how you know how to correct it. That is bizarre.
Yes.
It's cool, but bizarre.
But I also teach people who can't see how to test for it. So you
Right,
can
you don't
always
need to
know.
see
You
it
don't have
to-
to see
Got
to
it.
have
So,
work.
so you can apply this in your life, these 2 simple techniques right now. You can apply this the next time you're facing an afternoon slump, and I do feel different.
Yeah,
I do
great.
feel like I just had a cup of coffee or something.
Yeah.
So that's also kind of strange.
Yes.
So that was technique number 1. Now, the second technique is one of my favorites. It's how to deal with stressors that enter our lives.
And this is so valuable, and I think we actually carry the way to solve this in our DNA, because people often do this. They throw their hands up to their forehead when they get stressed, or they go like this.
Right.
And there's a reason we do that, because when you get stressed, you can lose up to 80% of the blood in your forebrain for the fight or flight response, to run away or beat somebody up. And most of us don't do that anymore.
Right.
So here, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to test you again. You hold your arm strong. Now, think of something that bothers you. You don't have to tell us. Just bring it to mind. You got it? Okay, now hold. I mean, it's instant. All you have to do is think of the stress and your body goes into the fight or flight. So now watch. You don't have all the blood in your forebrain.
Right, I thought about something that really bothers me.
Yes. So now you can do this for yourself or somebody else can do it for you in the family. But if you just put one hand up here.
It can be any hand.
Either hand, one hand on your forehead and maybe one hand on the back of your head. And it creates a polarity then. And do just some breathing. At least just a couple of deep breaths and then just let go and relax into it. And again, your hand is electromagnetic. So you draw your own blood back up into your forebrain. And when that happens, also the cascading of chemicals that went into your body to handle the fight or flight also just calms down and dissipates.
It's actually so relaxing. I almost feel like dozing off.
Yes.
Like taking an afternoon nap that you just showed me how not to do that.
And since everybody's different in this whole world, I'm going to show you a different way that might work as well for you. If you put one thumb in your temples here, and the other fingers right here, and softly pull slightly to the side, that calms down a whole nother energy system. And you don't have to do it hard, just do it soft. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. Now think of that same stress, okay, and hold.
Wow.
Yes.
And it is a very stressful, bothersome situation.
Yes.
But when I think about it now, I feel like I'm just observing it.
Yes.
I don't feel that pain in my chest.
Yes, that's what happens.
That's interesting.
And depending on your stress and how bad it is, you might hold it longer or shorter, and you'll know.
If we feel the pain of a situation or a memory coming back to us, we can do this again, right? So again, we're putting our fingers here, we're putting up our thumbs on the side, and we're pushing both to the side.
Yes, and it's just a slight. It's not a deep push. It's just a pull to the side.
And that's one of two techniques. The other technique is this, right?
Yes.
Right hand in front, left hand at the back. And we just place our hands there.
Yes.
Now, as we're putting our hands over here or over here, are we holding any intention in our mind? Is anything going on in the mind, or is it just the hands?
No, if you're really, really stressed and you're thinking about it, go ahead and think of your stress.
Right.
Because the really wonderful thing is that energy itself will move it. You don't have to have an intention, although intention is great. But when you're stressed out, you can't think of something positive. But this will help you.
Now the other question is, you demonstrated how stress can instantly cause my ability to keep my hand up to go down.
Yes.
Is it just strength that it's affecting? What else is it affecting in us?
Oh, it affects your whole body, every organ in your body, every cell in your body. I mean, stress is governed by a system called triple warmer. And triple warmer is always on alert.
Triple warmer is one of the 9 energy systems that you see.
Yes, it is.
Right, so this is unique stuff, people. It's beyond auras, beyond meridians, the triple warmer. It's one of the 9 energy systems. You don't often hear about this, but Donna sees it.
Yes, it governs the fight, flight, or freeze response. And most people in our world have too much stress chemicals running through their body, and triple warmer is on alert way too much. I think we've got to evolve triple warmer.
What does the triple warmer look like when you see it?
I see a lot of different things. One is I see something that looks like, if you don't see energy, it's a little bit hard to say, but everything looks strained. Everything looks strained in the energies, all of them. I mean, it affects all the energy systems. I think triple warmer was probably the energy that kept us alive as a species, millions of years ago.
And you see that disrupted when someone is under stress.
It gets
and what you found is that by simply placing your hands here or here, we help preserve it.
And you also see the blood come back up into your forebrain so you can think again. So
interesting,
it's really,
very interesting.
Yeah. So and it's not just what triple warmer does, it's the effect that triple warmer has on all the other energy systems. Because
Yes.
triple warmer, in being able to govern the fight or flight response, is able to draw resources from all the other energies. So this technique, and either one can work, you can just kind of sense which one feels better for you or do them both, is so important, because if you're able to identify, like you did, a situation that really is stressful for you and get it so that you can think about that situation without going into the stress response, that's a game changer in terms of how you feel during your day.
Yes.
Because it doesn't always drain you. It's always there draining you unless you can really shift the way that it triggers that stress response.
I mean, almost all illnesses are stress related because stress takes your energies down.
And illness causes stress, so it's a
Yes.
two-way
Yes.
street.
Got it. So let's go on to the third technique that we're going to be covering here today. So you've learned two techniques. You've learned how to overcome the afternoon slump,
Yes.
okay? And you've learned two simple ways to overcome stressful situations. Now let's go on to our third
Okay.
lesson for today. And this is really interesting, and it involves food.
Yes, one of the wonderful things about energy testing is that you can test food or vitamins and herbs and find out what is really good for you. And if you're taking vitamins, what's too much for you or too little. You can find the exact amount you need, which is really important because, you know, if you take too much of something that's really good for you, it just becomes another toxin in your body. So finding out how much you need is really good.
And it's so important because the food that we take into our body, in terms of energy medicine, that's the source of energy. So understanding that food that is not in harmony with your body's energy is really a major discovery to have, because we often go by the diet of our culture, and that's not attuned to our energy system. But you can attune your diet to your energy system by doing this energy testing.
So this is fascinating. Let's learn. How
Okay.
do we test the energy of food?
All right, let's bring on the food and bring on the vitamins. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to energy test Fission. And I'm going to put his arm straight down his body with his thumb next to his leg, his fingers just straight down, and I'm going to ask him to pull his arm to his body, and I'm going to pull it out, okay? And that, okay, now here's what is interesting. You can start, he's a little weak on this energy, so we're going to find out if any of these foods actually make him strong.
Okay.
Okay?
So so he's not going to know which food we're testing. I'm going to show you which food it is, and then I'll hold it and I'll touch his back with the food so that
you can
it
just
will,
be in the field.
so as long as it's his energy field, the energy field of the food is going to be interacting with his energy field, and that's what's being tested.
So let me get this straight. So the food is in my energy field. It's not actually touching my back.
That's right.
That's good, because I hate bacon at the back of my shirt.
Well, great. Okay. What I'm going to ask you to do is pull your arm to your body, and
Okay.
I'm going to pull it out. There's a little weakness, but it's about the same as it was originally. Pull that
So
away.
that was the egg.
Okay.
that
Now
was
let me
the
see if you're still about the same. Yeah, which means it does nothing for him. It's not either good nor bad. It's
Eggs do
just
nothing for me?
nothing for you.
Right now.
Okay.
Right now, I don't know if you've already had eggs today.
I did.
If you have, you maybe just OD'd on them. That's why it's a good idea to really learn this and do it for a few days to find out what your body really needs. And if you test before you've eaten anything in the day. Okay,
So the second is this.
and that's really good for him. And that is a pineapple.
Really?
Yes, at least right now. But did you have any
Which
this
happens to be
morning?
my favorite
What does it
fruit.
mean?
Oh, that's great.
Okay. Next.
Okay. No.
Oh,
Potato
too bad.
chips.
Potato chips, sorry.
Oh, right. Right, that's something I avoid at all costs.
Well, oh, isn't that
Yes.
interesting? Well, it's exactly right
Okay.
what you were thinking.
Next.
Okay. Oh, that's good for you.
Bacon.
Bacon.
Bacon, yes, yes, thank God, bacon supports me.
Okay.
Okay. Hold. No.
What
This
was
is
that?
bread, this bread.
That's true, because I'm on a low-carb diet. I never eat bread.
Okay,
Okay.
well, there you have it.
Okay.
Okay. Not so good.
You don't get to butter the bread that you don't eat.
Butter? Perfect. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, that's it.
Now,
And also because that's not good quality butter.
that's true. Do you know, I would also like to say, this butter is wrapped in tinfoil or whatever that is. But
We could have tested.
he's going to put it on his finger and hold it
So
up
that
in
we're
his
not test-
field.
so we're not testing the wrapping.
That wrapping.
I see what you mean. I
And
see what you mean.
Okay, hold. No, he still doesn't. That's not his. And Vishen said something very important, and he said that that's not high quality. I mean, sometimes you can find that something is good for you in a higher quality.
Like with butter, you probably want to pick unsalted grass-fed.
Okay, yes. And for me, eggs aren't good for me. But if I have a range-free chicken egg that is organic, then I'm okay.
Wow. So is that it? Was there any other food that we were going to
Yes,
test?
I want to test vitamins, all right? This is really important. And I will say it doesn't matter if you hold it in the field, you can hold it in your hand because you really, I'm going to just clasp your hand around it.
Okay.
And I'm going to test and see. Vitamin C is good. He's got 1,000 in his hand. He's going to put out in a second 1,000. Wow. We're going to put a third and he loses his energy. That means that he only needs 2. And if he has 3, it's 1 too many that his body then has to process, and it could hurt him.
That's a really interesting tool. Now, how would we do this on ourselves if we don't have an assistant to hold food behind our back and you to move our arms?
I mean, you can do energy testing on yourself. Now, this is how I do it, okay? I'm going to put this vitamin C in my left hand. I'm going to put it and flatten it right on my solar plexus, put my right hand above, pull my elbows in, and I'm going to take a deep breath in. And as I let my breath out, I will either fall forward or I'll fall backwards, and I'm falling forward, which means I need it. I am being pulled toward that energy.
Wow.
Did that make sense? I mean, and look, I'm going to take I'll put 3 in my hand and see. And you want to let go of all thoughts. Now, it's not much is happening. I'm not going forward or backwards, which means it's just neutral. Okay, 4 is too many. But
Wow.
I would
So-
stick with 2 because that was the ones that made me really
So
fall
it's almost as
forward.
if you're turning your body into a dowsing rod to guide you
I
towards
think
the...
of this as a pendulum. I make my body
Amazing.
the pendulum. And it's really important. You know, when I was very, very allergic to everything, I had to be right on. I couldn't make a mistake or I could end up in the hospital. I really went into, I just really got very, very ill. And I went into insulin shock by taking too much of something. And I
Wow.
had to learn how to do it right.
This is such an incredible technique. So far, folks, you have learned how to overcome the afternoon slump. You have learned how to stay strong even when negative thoughts are flooding your mind. And now you've learned how to use energetic testing of food to identify what your body needs. Now, the final technique we're going to learn, I hear, involves a spoon.
Yes, this is a wonderful, simple tool that I think everybody can walk around with a stainless steel spoon. And stainless steel, you know it's stainless steel. If you put it up to a magnet, it'll stick. Now, we're either going to have you take off your shoes or somebody else.
No. See, for this one, I am not taking off my shoes. We're going to have Angela. Would you?
Okay. All right, Angela.
This is Angela, who's helping us with this shoe.
Now, what this is about is you want to be really grounded, you know, through your day so that you literally pull up the energies from the earth. They feed us. I mean, planet Earth feeds us, but when you're not grounded and it throws your polarities off and you're not pulling up the energy and you won't feel as good and you won't feel nature when you go walking in it. So I'm going to test your feet and find out if you are...
Okay. Both shoes off?
Yeah, both. Now, I'm going to just energy test you, okay? Okay,
And I'll get out of the way.
I'm just going to use a regular indicator test, and you hold. You're very, very, very strong. So now what I want you to do is just let me have your foot and I'm just going to tap it at the bottom. That's as if my hand was the earth. It's the same polarity. So if there was a connect, and you're holding, are you holding?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there is not a connect to the earth. You aren't grounded. Well, it'll be the same thing on the other foot. So here's what we're going to do, Angela. You're going to pick up your foot, and you can do this for yourself, but you just spoon the bottom of your feet, and it connects to the nerves in your body, and suddenly your polarities are switched, and you are grounded again. Now, I'm going to just do the same thing I did before. Slap the bottom of your feet and see, and now we're connected. So it's just a simple thing you can use for the rest of your life. Carry a stainless steel spoon in your purse. And I want to tell you that many people have told me over the years they've learned to use it in different ways. Like if you put a stainless steel spine, excuse me, I'm going to turn you this way. You can take a stainless steel spoon and go up your spine. And if you have no clothes on, it really feels good. And it just relaxes all the nerves on your spine.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm going to say one more thing. Yesterday, just yesterday, I had shoes on that hurt my feet. And when I went to take my shoes off, my feet hurt so bad. I thought, well, I know my polarities are off. So I went to get the spoon and spooned my feet. And what was the surprise is it took all the pain away from my feet. It works, and it's so good.
That's amazing. It gives new meaning to the word spooning.
Yes.
But why does this work?
It's because it hooks to the energies in your nerves. It's a magnet will hook to it, and so you're electromagnetic, and it just hooks up. What is interesting is if you try to use a silver spoon, it won't work.
It has to be a stainless steel spoon. Does it have to be a spoon? Can we fork it?
Yes, you can fork it. Yes, you can. Yes,
But a spoon, I suppose, is safer.
Yes, a spoon is safer. And it feels better. It feels better. You know, this back of the spoon just feels good. You know, just an added bonus that if you spoon before you go to bed at night, or once you're in bed, spoon your feet, or even spoon your spine, you're going to sleep a lot better.
So a lot of people sleep better after they spoon.
Oh, yes.
Cool. So guys, you've learned 4 different ways to apply energy medicine into your life right now. To get rid of afternoon slumps, to get rid of stressors, of stressful negative thoughts in your mind, to help test food, and to spoon, to give new meaning to the word spoon, so you sleep better and your energy is more in flow. Those are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful techniques. Donna, thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're so welcome.
So is there anything that you guys would have as advice for the people who are watching today in terms of continuing to live life through the applications of energy medicine?
Well, yes. Oh my gosh. If you learn energy medicine, you'll have tools you can use for the rest of your life to empower yourself to be able to take away pain and stress, to be able to test your food and vitamins, to help your children or your family. I mean, it is so wonderful to feel empowered in this way. And as a bonus, you literally will evolve your body because your energies will be able to deal with all of the things that come your way, that throw your energies off every day. You'll be able to more and more counter stressful energies. So I do hope you use this.
The principle is that energy runs physiology.
Yes.
And we don't usually think of our ability to shift those energies, to really make a difference in how those energies flow. We just think that's the way it is, but there's a lot that you can do, as you saw, to take charge of the energies in your body, and that's what our work is all about.
Yes, and it is the best of our lives to be able to teach people this, because I really believe the world is going to change and be uplifted and even more spiritual because you cannot do this work and just work on yourself without being amazed and thrilled and excited about how energy can be shifted and changed, and you can have a better life.
I guess it's like almost learning how to use a new sense. I mean, imagine what life would be like if you suddenly didn't have a sense of hearing or a sense of taste. It's
That's
almost
right.
a new sense that you're bringing into the way you function in the world. And it's a sense that allows you to help yourself, revitalize yourself, keep your health going strong, but that you can also apply on your children, on your loved ones, in your family. Now, these are some incredible results that people got from studying with Donna. The first is Vicki Goodrich. So Vicki's story is that she was in a major bout of medical depression since being a child in the 3rd grade. And for the next 40 years, she was in depression for 40 years. She said, by a big stroke of luck, or more likely by the grace of God, I found myself in a workshop led by Donna Eden. I decided to take a stand for my health. And after 3 weeks of performing these simple yet potent techniques, my depression improved by 2 levels, a dramatic and remarkable result. Vicki said, I was basically asleep for 40 years. Now I feel like I'm awake and plugged back into life. Now, this is a really interesting story by a lady called Gopita Catherine Manning. So Gopita found herself sick over Christmas, and she never gets sick, but all of a sudden she had a terrible fever and a cough, and she was coughing so hard it seemed like her ribs would break. She said, I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days, then 4 days, then 6 days, then 7 days. I became so dehydrated, my doctor talked about having me sent to the hospital for fluids. She became hopeless and depressed. Mercifully, one day she got on a call with Donna Eden, who was one of the teachers she was studying with. Donna listened to her, and then Donna said this, the only time I've ever felt like that was when I was depleted of estrogen. Donna then softly and gently directed her to some of Donna's work. Gopita said, I went on to read what to do. It was so simple and worked immediately, and I mean immediately. I was completely well within 1 day. This is an interesting one from Charlene, a master social worker and a mother of 2. Now please keep in mind that we can never promise results like this. This is what Charlene experienced. We can never at all say that anyone else will experience something like this. What happened was Charlene, 2 years ago, noticed some fairly large lumps in her left breast. After some personal research, she discovered that mammograms cannot necessarily rule out benign versus malignant lumps. So she was really uneasy about this. The diagnosis was it was fibroids, and she said, I was told that there was nothing I can do about fibroids and associated pain. Nevertheless, I continued to do energy medicine exercises, and eventually the fibroids disappeared. I feel the exercises were directly responsible for this, she said. Even if they weren't, energy medicine was huge in helping me go through the situation by giving me peace of mind and helping me take charge of my health. Now, this one is by a guy called William H. Crocker, who is a retired PhD in cultural anthropology. He is a scientist by profession, and he's 88 years old. And today he says that I'm an 88-year-old male in good health and happily married. I exercise regularly and do Eden energy medicine exercises several times a day. But it wasn't always like this. One day in 1996, a severe pain appeared above his left cheek, and a neurologist diagnosed it as trigeminal neuralgia, a nerve disorder that creates stabbing or electric shock-like pain in parts of your face. By 2002, it was so bad he had to go for specialty treatments at Johns Hopkins, and in 2005, he discovered Donna Eden and energy medicine. So in 2005, after he started working with Eden Energy Medicine, he said that his problem began to go away. And by 2010, it was largely resolved. Not only that, but he says he's also now getting relief from his lifelong struggle with insomnia. Meredith Brown wrote to Donna, and she said, as a new mother, I was frustrated with the feeling of helplessness that came with a sick baby with reflux issues. Not knowing what to do, I would call a pediatrician or take my daughter to the doctor's office. I was completely dependent on whatever the doctor told us. Sometimes medications were prescribed, and sometimes we were told to wait it out. And so many of you know there is no pain like seeing your child suffer. So she took Donna Eden medicine classes and learned about the stomach meridians, and she said that I was completely blown away by the effectiveness of sedating the stomach meridian. My heavens, imagine if every mother knew how to do this for their children. The feeling of empowerment that these techniques bring is priceless.
Yes.
Now, I want to share with the audience just how deep we can go, because I've been talking to you and I know that what you're sharing is just the tip of the iceberg. In the new energy medicine program that we've created with Donna Eden here on Mind Valley Academy, our intent was to create the world's foremost course to get people to bring and apply energy medicine into their lives. And Donna, tell us about where this course takes you.
Well, you can use it every day. If you have lost your energy, you'll know how to get it back. If you are starting to get a cold, you'll know what to do for it. If you are in a social situation and you feel like you just feel disconnected from everybody, you can find your own rhythm again. You can, if you get the flu or some real difficult illness, you have the tools to be able to get your health back. It's amazing in relationships because our energies affect one another. And David and I, for instance, we would probably not, well, I know we would not be together. And we've been together how many years?
Nearly 40 years.
Nearly 40 years.
Wow.
And we would not be together today if it had not been for energy medicine, because it gave us tools to be able to shift our energy when we were in a difficult place with one another. I mean, this covers everything. There isn't anything on earth that this doesn't cover.
And the way we've constructed the course is that you actually get a daily practice. So you learn how to not just have a series of tools that you can apply, and you've learned 4, but there are about,
Yes.
David, I think you said there are 50 different techniques in this program, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you are not going to remember all 50 techniques, but you're going to end up with maybe 5 or 10 that are so applicable to you, and these techniques change your life. Sometimes a single technique can make a
Yes.
powerful dent in your life. Imagine, for example, if you, using the food technique, always knew what foods to put in your body, or if you using the techniques of energy that you apply in your relationship, imagine what your relationship would look like when you are together for like 40 years, like David and Donna here, who are so cute together. And the course is designed in such a way where you learn not just this collection of tools, but you develop a practice, a daily practice. So as you take this program, what happens is that it is training your behavior on a day-to-day basis, and you are learning how to start living life in a completely different way through using energy medicine in all of these different dimensions.
Yes, and you gain more and more vitality and happiness. You feel happier and your brain is clear. Brain fog goes away, and I'll tell you another thing. I think you begin to look younger because your energies are vital. So that the people that we have worked with for many years, I mean, we all laugh about it, that, my gosh, you can't be that old. You know, that's what you say to each other.
And you feel younger. One thing I
Yes.
love about hanging out with the two of you is that you guys behave like teenagers. Like David always has his hand on your knee, and you guys are always touching each other. It's beautiful to see.
Good.
So I want to give you a quick idea. I want to give our audience a quick idea of what this course covers. So there's the spoon again. So firstly, as Donna mentioned, there are 9 different energy types that Donna can see. Now this particular program teaches you how to use 5 of these energy types. So let me read out the 9. The 9 are meridians, auras, chakras. Most of you are familiar with that. And then number 4 is the triple warmer. That's the one you said that governs our stress response.
Yes.
But then we go on to radiant circuits. What are radiant circuits?
Oh, radiant circuits are beneath the surface of triple warmer, which when you have so much stress in your life, that energy below can't quite surface. And it's what makes you happy, which makes you spontaneous, which makes you be able to be in any situation and not feel self-conscious. And it makes you free.
So that's an energy. So
It's an
happiness, freedom, confidence,
Yes,
that's an
it's an
energy, and we can
energy.
work with that energy.
You can work with the
So that's
energy.
radiant circuits. I
Yes.
love that
About
name.
the energies of joy.
The energies of joy. So this program covers the first 5, meridians, auras, chakras, the triple warmer, and radiant circuits. You learn to work with these energies. Now there's an additional 4 we do not cover in this program, and that is the grind,
Grid.
the grid, not the grind. Forget what I just said. The electrics, the Celtic weave, and the 5 elements.
Yes,
Okay, so
yes.
that's for more advanced training. But we want to start you off with these 5. You're going to learn how to use meridians, auras, chakras, the triple warmer, and radiant circuits. Now, what we cover in the course is a basic understanding and direct experience of your body's interrelated energy system and how to influence these systems to generate self-healing and greater vitality. That is the key idea behind this course.
Yes.
Second, you learn the ability to use practical energy methods to reduce pain. This is important for many of us over 40. Overcome illness, again, very important for many of us. Counter the effects of stress, maintain your health, build resilience, and experience greater vitality. And like Donna and David, look and feel so much younger. And third, you learn to use energy to realize your potential. So many of us operate at way below our potential. Imagine not being able to use one of your 5 senses, right? Well, we have additional senses beyond the 5, and most people never learn how to use them. And these senses can sometimes be so powerful in our world as any of the common 5. And that's why it's so important for us to study these tools so we can live our full potential. Now, below this webinar video, you will see all the information about the course. In a moment, I'll have Donna take you through the course curriculum. But below this video, you'll see all the information about the course, and I'm excited to invite you to enroll. As you know, like any program on Mind Valley Academy, you don't have to make up your mind right now. You can try it out for 30 days and see if this is for you. You can actually enroll in this program, take the lessons with Donna, study, apply it in your life. And at any point, if you feel this isn't for you, you can get a full refund or you can exchange it for another program. We really like to make sure that your education in yourself is safe. And this is a program that will pay off for itself in so many ways, like 100, maybe even 1,000-fold as you go through life. So this is really an investment in your future. And it's an investment in your family, in your colleagues, in your work environment, because people who use energy have a positive impact on everybody around them.
That's right.
And so it reminds me of that story when I walked into that office, our makeshift office in the hotel where I was running my seminar to pick up my sneakers, and I felt so different. It's because you guys being in there, doing the energy practices with me and my team had changed the feeling of the room. Now imagine if you can do that in your home, in your office.
Yes.
I'm guessing you, in this program, you also teach us how to influence the energy of a space.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There isn't anything you can't influence with energy.
The motto of our organization is raising the vibration of the planet, one person at a time.
That's beautiful. And how many people have you guys trained up to now?
Well, we have, in terms of the certification program, which is a 2-year program where people really become practitioners, we've trained almost 1,200.
Wow.
And as you said earlier, more than 100,000 people have taken some level of training with us.
Wow. And so that's 100,000 people. And with this program, we're hoping to reach an additional 100,000 people who maybe might not be able to afford a full live training, but through the affordable price of this program can learn it online through the Mind Valley Academy. And that's something else. If you scroll down below this webinar and you look at the depth and the design and the quality behind this program and the world-class teachers we'll have, you'll see that a program like this would typically cost around $800 to $1,000 if you were going through it. Other programs of this level with teachers of this caliber of technology and design that Mind Valley provides would typically resale for about $800 to $1,000. But as you'll see below this webinar, our price at Mind Valley Academy, we've made the price very affordable, and we can do that because we have a 2 million strong audience, right? So because of the economies of scale, we can make this price affordable to everyone all around the world. And I want you to know that it's a special bonus for you just for spending the last 1 hour or so with us, investing in yourself, learning these tools. We've further unlocked a special discount only available on this page. So do not close this page, because if you close this page, you won't be able to get this discount again unless you rewatch the webinar from start to finish, right? So it's only available on this page. Now, Donna, let's talk about the 8 sessions. So this particular program is 8 sessions.
Yes.
Each session is between 1 hour to 1.5 hours. So at this point, let's actually talk about the program. We want to tell you what's happening week to week and what the curriculum looks like. So we're just going to give you a quick hint. Everything else is below this video. But Donna, an important question. How old are you?
125. Oh, no. But I am 73.
And I'm so happy you shared that. She is 73 years old. That is incredible.
Two months, I'll be 74. In 2 months.
That's amazing how amazing and beautiful and fun and energetic you are. And I've seen you work. It is amazing. So I love to see how this is actually giving you the vitality and the health that you are giving to your thousands of students.
Yes, and I would say that it helps everybody age better so that you don't just break down as you get older. You actually not only retain vitality, but in some ways you get better. You get better because you know what to do for yourself so you can stay
And I am
well.
so proud of my daughter.
One more thing, you guys were talking about senses. You mentioned to me behind the scenes that this actually improves your senses.
Oh, it really does. I have seen this over and over again, that students who really start studying energy medicine, their senses open up in every way. Some people begin to see energy, some people just feel it more, and some know what's going on. They can't even explain what it is, but they know it. They know what's happening. And for everybody, their senses open. So it's really, really wonderful. You just are more alive.
Right. While for many of us as we get older, our regular senses, our
Yes.
hearing or our eyesight gets worse, when you practice this, your senses actually expand.
Yes, and your brain gets sharper.
So that's another really important reason why we're excited to bring this program out, right? As you can see, it really helps you, as human lifespans are increasing, it really helps you stay young and thrive. Now let's talk about the week-by-week schedule.
Okay.
So Donna, firstly, this is an 8-week program.
Yes.
Okay, and every week you will be studying for 1 to 1.5 hours. So you would study, say on a Saturday or a Sunday, whenever you have some free time, 1 to 1.5 hours. It is video training. We filmed this because we wanted Donna to be able to demonstrate what she does. We filmed this with a select live studio audience of 10 people. So you'll actually see the techniques as applied to them, and it's a beautiful, 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 beautifully put together program. So you want to study for 60 to 90 minutes a week, a particular day, and then put things into practice. And
Yes.
how many minutes of practice do you recommend a day?
Oh, I would just make sure I did the daily energy routine every day, and that takes no more than 10 minutes, maybe as little as 5, depending on how fast you do it. But if you did that twice a day, you would start feeling yourself feel better, just feel better every day.
I see. So this is almost like just like we have exercise routines.
That's right.
This
That's
is
right.
like an energy routine to
Energy
fine-tune our
routine.
energy.
That's right.
Now, I understand we also learn how to apply this to our families and our co-workers and our companies and our businesses. What does that look like?
Absolutely. Well, I do know businesses who do this right before they have a business meeting. They balance their energies out so that they feel good and everybody's sharp at the meeting. I mean, in everything. I know nurses who not only work with their patients, but they congregate together and keep others' energies up. So it applies to everything. I would like to see this in government.
I would love to see that too.
Yes.
And is it kid-friendly for those of us who are parents?
Oh my gosh, kids learn this so fast, and it's fabulous, and kids can feel it. They're a little bit closer, to that energy state, and they can feel it when they feel better, and they do not quit doing it. And they learn better in school because it clears their mind, unscrambles their force fields, and no, it's so excellent for kids. I grew up quite dyslexic. And this was the work that undid that for me. So, no, I'm such an advocate.
So let's go to the week-by-week schedule of what you'll be learning when you enroll. Again, the enrollment button is below. So week 1 is called From Burnout to Breakthrough. So you learn to use your energy system to fuel your vitality and well-being. So immediately from week 1, you start feeling and functioning better. Then we go to week 2, which is about learning how to start each day with clarity and zest. It's on clearing, centering, and grounding your energies to open up for change.
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to add to week 2?
Well, week 2 also helps you with stress levels and how to bring your own blood back up into your forebrain, as we showed on you.
And in week 3, you learn how to apply energy healing to the triple warmer system, which we spoke about earlier. In week 4, you learn how to use energy testing to make healthy choices beyond what you just learned with food. What happens here?
Oh, I mean, it is life-changing when you have this tool to be able to find out about what foods are really good for you, and it begins to help you overcome allergies. It's really good, but you can use it also with jewelry and other things that you might use on your body.
Can we use it to pick stocks?
To what?
To pick stocks? To make business
don't
decisions?
Do that. No, we don't want you to do that because your own consciousness is in there somewhere.
Right.
And
But what we demonstrated was such a brief introduction to it. There's a lot more to really get sophisticated about it.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And in session 5, which is week 5, you learn to apply energy to reducing and clearing pain, which is so important for so
Yes.
many people.
Yes.
I have my own back injury, which has been plaguing me, which I want to be, and this is why I cannot wait to get to week 5. Week 6, you go to clearing your past, and you guys as Mind Valley Academy students have heard about this before, clearing your past and creating your future by healing your chakra system.
yes.
Tell us what happens here.
Well, first of all, I see 7 layers on each chakra, and each chakra is influenced by a certain way of being. Like the heart chakra is how you love, and the solar plexus is your sense of power in the world. And each chakra is a very particular energy. And so people learn to clear them and then to strengthen them and have some of the forces underneath on the other levels come up so that you're empowered.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Now, week 7, we go on to the aura, your energetic, you call this your energetic spacesuit and connection to the universe.
Yes.
Tell us what happens in week 7.
Well, you're going to learn how to strengthen your aura. You're going to learn how to fill in if you have any tears or spaces that your aura isn't even there. And it empowers you if you feel like you're kind of collapsed into yourself, how to move your aura out stronger. And if your aura is very strong, it not only protects you, it hooks you up to other people. You can read other people better if everything is flowing in your aura.
And finally, week 8, which is the final week, you learn to work with the radiant circuits for vitality and joy.
Yes, radiant circuits are so wonderful. They help you find your true happiness, true joy, passion and spontaneity, and your love life gets better. Everything gets better because it's about what is underneath the stress levels.
That's beautifully said. So there you have it. Those are the 8 weeks. All the information is below. And keep in mind that on this page you get a special discount, and you can still try this program out for 30 days and get a full refund if this doesn't meet your highest standards. Now keep in mind, energy medicine as a phrase is becoming increasingly important in the world today. And the woman who is associated with that word more than anybody else is Donna Eden. So when we say we want to bring you the best energy medicine teacher in the world, we have actually brought you the best. The widest number of students are learning from her, the widest number of facilitators, and some of the most remarkable, beautiful, joyous learning styles. So as people are browsing our page, I'd love to ask you a couple of frequently asked questions from our customers who might be interested in knowing this to help with the enrollment. First is, how fast do you see results?
Oh, how fast you see results will totally depend on what you're going through. But I promise you, you will see results. And it will be even like if you're in a very difficult place and you're trying to change your energy, you'll feel it fast, but you will feel it faster and faster the more you do it. The more you do it, your body learns how to hold on to a good vibration.
And you'd mentioned something really interesting about energy medicine versus Reiki. Reiki is a powerful tool. I've studied Reiki.
Yes.
But you mentioned something interesting about energy medicine in terms of how it's different.
Well, it's very different because energy medicine is very particular. Like if you have an ailment somewhere in your body, like your stomach, you can go, there are definite, 9 different energy systems you can work to move that energy and heal yourself. I mean, the body already knows how to heal itself. It knows how. But in today's modern world where things are no longer natural and we have every square inch of our atmosphere filled with electromagnetic energies, man-made electromagnetic energies. You need to know how to counter that. And so we give you those tools.
Beautiful. And one more thing you said is that Reiki, and I've studied Reiki, when you're trying to heal something with Reiki, it's not precision.
Yes.
Right? You're healing the overall body, but with energy medicine, because you can see the 9 layers, your tools are very precision.
Very
for
precise.
a back pain, you have exactly what one needs to do. It's extremely precise.
And I love Reiki because it is a laying on of hands, but for precision, this works.
Right.
Yes.
Now, do you think it's too inundating for people to learn like 50-something tools?
No, I think what happens is you'll want more and more. You get into this and it just whets your appetite because you see how you can make yourself feel better, how you can turn your brain back on if you've lost it, whatever is going on, or help your child learn better in school. All of these things, it whets your appetite and you just want to learn it. You really want to.
Right. I mean, I think of it this way. Most of us have more than 50 apps on our iPhone. It doesn't mean we use all the apps all the time. There are certain apps which are really useful to us, and you'll find the same thing. You'll find certain tools really, really, really resonate with you, and you want to use it on a regular, more than daily basis.
Yes.
And some you might use once a month or so, but still, it helps to know the full range of these tools.
Yes.
Now, the final question is this. How can I be sure it works?
Oh, first of all, you're going to feel it. You're going to know it works. You won't have any doubt. Now, in the very beginning, when you're just starting to use these techniques on yourselves, you might feel, well, I got a little bit more energy, but for some people, you will feel it really fast, large amounts of energy, because for each of us, our energy really is as unique as a thumbprint. So what you're needing might be something different than somebody else and what they need, but everybody feels it more and more as time goes on.
Thank you, Donna. And David, any closing words for us?
Well, I just so appreciate the way that you've honored us and that you've really invited your audience to experience this, because we think it's so important.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. And no, thank you for giving so much for our audience. I'm never going to eat the same way again. I'm never going to spoon the same way again, or deal with stress, or probably ever take an afternoon nap again. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, everybody for joining us. All the information you need is directly below this video. I hope to see you enrolled in this program and start applying energy medicine to your daily lives and the lives of all your loved ones. Thank you, and thank you, Donna. Thank you, David.
Thank you so much.
I have a remarkable story of healing to tell you about my own journey of healing with Eden Energy Medicine. I became an Eden Energy Medicine practitioner because I had debilitating back pain and nothing was getting rid of it. I was not able to use the conventional tools of medicine that I knew, prescription drugs and physical therapy, to heal my back. My next option was going to be surgery, and I didn't want to go down that road. Someone suggested to me that I might want to think about complementary medicine. I didn't know very much about it, but I was interested and I was desperate. I found that Donna Eden was going to be at a workshop. I signed up and went, and within 10 minutes of getting there, one of her teaching assistants showed me a place to tap on my ankles, and the pain in my back started to get better. That definitely got my attention. I signed up for her courses and immediately went through her training. And what I found as I progressed through the training is that my back got continually better. Not only did the back pain go away, but the neuropathy that I had in my right foot also went away. Nothing else had been able to do that. I also found as I learned these tools that they became wonderful resources for me to use with my patients, and I brought them into my conventional practice. I used words like moving energy and finding balance in your body, bringing your body back into harmony with my clients and patients, and found that they were very receptive and responded really well to the tools and techniques that I had to show them. Eden Energy Medicine changed my life, but more importantly, it changed my perspective on healthcare. And it gave me tools to use that didn't require invasive techniques, that were gentle yet powerful. Eden Energy Medicine is an amazing tool for all of us to use, but especially those of us who work in healthcare. Thanks to my own healing journey with Eden Energy Medicine, I now have a powerful tool to bring to my patients. It's effective, it's simple, it's empowering. Eden Energy Medicine changed my life, and it can change yours too.
I'm here today to talk about Eden Energy Medicine and how it can transform your life. We go through our lives so often either working with ill health or just working with surviving, doing whatever we're doing but without really experiencing our fullness, our joy, our vitality, our radiance. And that's one of the amazing ways that Eden Energy Medicine, with really incredibly simple and powerful exercises, can transform everybody's life. I've been a practitioner with Eden Energy Medicine for many years now and worked from conception or fertility issues right up to people who are transitioning in their lives. And the tools that Eden Energy Medicine can give you, the empowerment, the language, the vitality, is, in my opinion, the best out there. It's phenomenal work and it's so accessible. We can all access it. So I really encourage you to work with Eden Energy Medicine. It's an amazing, amazing transformation skill.
Finding Eden Energy Medicine was probably the most profound experience of my life. It gave the power back to me in my hands instead of being dependent upon a healer and constant, recurring sessions. And now that I've trained in it and I'm a practitioner myself, I love empowering my clients so that they too can feel that they have the ability to affect their body and their energy and their emotions and everything. One exciting experience that I had is a mom brought her little girl in for chronic bedwetting, which really made her feel ashamed and embarrassed. And by showing her very, very simple Eden Energy Medicine techniques, she was able to use her own hands to correct that just by spending a few minutes at night before going to sleep. She was able to kind of release all that energy that was stuck in her body and her nervous system so that she no longer needed to release that energy through her bladder. It was a life-changing experience for me and for her and for the other children that have been able to move through that. So through these experiences, both personal and through clients, I've learned that Eden Energy Medicine helps everything from bedwetting, illnesses, pain, emotional distress, and the key point is that you help yourself. It teaches you the tools so you go into your own body and correct it and feel empowered in those changes.